Mailbag.
Switch up the mailbag celebration.
Well, if you give me some more of the hooray, I'll be okay. Olivia sent in this one. I'm currently pre-approved for an FHA loan, but I hear it's a bad loan. Bad loan. She must have been listening to our show.
It's not.
What are the real benefits to using FHA? So now Olivia wants to know, what are the good parts of FHA?
Well, tons of good parts.
Yeah.
But again, FHA is available. It's much more flexible for people that don't qualify for anything else.
So far, the only flexibility I've heard you say is debt to income goes up
Credit.
2%.
Yeah, your
Credit
credit
score?
scores. Yeah, because
Give me an example.
Like, for example, if you're in the
Conventional
600s,
720 or
if you're in the 600s,
yeah.
you're gonna take a beating if you're going conventional.
Really?
Yeah, and you're gonna be required to put a lot more down. Just remember, conventional is much stricter guidelines. Think of it; it's a much more narrow box. It's a smaller box you have to fit into.
I would
would say so.
Well, you mix two things in there, and I want to separate them. You're not going to be required
Like
to
the
put a
egg
lot
white
more down
and the
because
yolk.
both of them, I use the 640 because your 640
Well, say
credit
640.
score.
You can't put 3 down conventional if you have a 640.
Yes, you can.
No, you have to have PMI is going to have. Let me go get my
Internal.
matrix.
Blowing minds.
You might be right.
I know I'm right.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
that's a private mortgage
Hey.
insurance,
Right, that's
but
a private mortgage
but there are
You're just
but there
the
are
manager.
cases.
what's the
But
She's
there
the
are
lender.
cases where we can. I mean, there are cases where if you get approval, you can get MI. Even at 640, well, so let's call it 640, 660. So maybe you'll be required to put a little bit more money down. But yeah, with conventional, it'll increase your closing costs based on your credit score, where FHA doesn't do that as much.
Right.
A little tiny
But-
bit, but not as much.
Remember,
so you need a higher credit score for conventional, lower credit score for FHA.
Well, you can still get conventional, but it's just more expensive.
just know that conventional is much more sensitive to your credit score.
Right.
Okay,
So sensitive?
it is. It's much more sensitive to your credit score. It's going to affect you a lot more, and it's going to cost you more if you have a lower score.
Yeah, as a general rule of thumb, if you're somebody you know you have great credit and you don't have a ton of debt, it's conventional all
Conventional
day
all the
long.
way.
FHA is your FHA is going to be available for many more people, and it is a great loan. Anything that's going to get you into a home.
Rap, but
No, it doesn't get a bad rap. It's just that you want to make sure you explore all of your options. But FHA is not a bad rap at all. It's a great loan. It's a low cost loan, but it might be a stepping stone as well. So it might be something that you.
But
get
I feel
into a
like
home
people
with.
think
I
it is
think
a
it.
bad
Well,
rap.
exactly.
They have this perception that it is, and it's not. You really have to
and I think
look at your options.
I think
see
the
if it fits you.
perception, unfortunately, for the longest time, is in the eyes of a seller or an agent, or the people on the other side that are accepting the offers, is
You weren't good
why
enough for conventional.
why do they have to go FHA? What's
Right.
wrong with
Right,
their
what's
credit?
wrong?
What's,
What's
wrong,
wrong
with
with
their
them?
finances?
Right.
What's wrong? But I've had a friend recently who bought a I think it was about a $550,000 home in San Diego County, and he's a fireman. He's got great credit, great income, but he went FHA.
Yeah.
He was solid across
And
the
it was
board.
probably because of one of the biggest benefits. You can qualify for more using FHA. You can go higher loan amounts, and
one of these days we're going to have to talk about the whole fireman, police officer, doctor thing. Those are cool. I hear stories about how they get great deals on houses in
do.
certain housing tracts. They have to put aside a couple of houses for those guys, and they're just cheap. All right.